What up, guys? My name is Nelly, and this is Naledi BDSM. I'm doing a part two of BDSM for beginners. The video was way too long, so I decided to cut it into two pieces. So, this is part two. Please do enjoy. And also, as I've always mentioned, there's no room for judgment here. So, if you feel judgmental, please do take a breather or grab your bag. The exit is in that direction. Here, everybody is welcome and we do not judge. So, the question that I have for today is, how did you find out that you were into BDSM? Please do leave me a link down below. So I'm just going to continue from the previous video. If you haven't watched the video, it is called BDSM for Beginners part 1, and this is part 2. Okay, as I was talking about consent in the other video, that being of sober mind is very important when you are engaging in a BDSM scene. It is because you want to make sure that you know that what you're doing is safe for the other person, and you have all the control to make sure the situation is safe, to minimize any accident or endangering the other person. Okay, so let's move on to how to make sure how to know that your partner has reached a limit, and how to also express that you have reached your limit. So there's some situation where you have been gagged and you can't express how you feel. There you can notify your partner by movement. Is like, if I clap my hand, that it means stop. If I clap my hand 2 times, it means stop. If I clap my hands once, it means like I'm reaching my limit. If I'm not clapping my hand, then we're good to go. So there's so many ways to communicate, but there's something called a safe word. So a safe word is to communicate whether you want your partner to stop, or you're good to go with what your partner is suggesting, or you are almost reaching your limit. So most people use the robot system, which is red, green, and yellow. So red means danger, we all know, and then green means go, and then yellow amber is kind of like in the middle. So you can use red as a way of saying stop. Okay, so in BDSM, no matters, right? So as we were talking about consent, no matters. But a person can use no, even when they don't really mean no. So to minimize the confusion, we tend to use safe words. So safe words are a better alternative than just using no. No matters. If a person says no, then you stop. Like, you know your partner, there's a no, that exciting no, and there's the no, I mean no. So you can also take those, but always have a safe word to minimize the confusion. So once I say red, then we know that I no longer want to be involved in this, let's stop. Okay, so always make sure that you don't use words that are related to sex, because also to minimize the confusion. So always pick words that are randomly not related to sex. You can have pan, you can have nail polish, you can have pineapple, you can have so many things that are not related to sex when you're choosing your safe words. Or you can go the normal route, which is picking the robot system, which is red, yellow, and green. So green means that I'm good to go, and then red, stop. Yellow, I'm almost reaching my limit, or slow down a little bit, it's starting to become too much. That's what I use the robot system for myself. What other thing do I have to say? So when it comes to safe words, yeah, so minimize. Oh, also there's also checking in. When you're checking in on your partner, I love it when a partner checks in with me, and this is confirming, is this okay to do? Because you can have a fantasy and you haven't expressed a fantasy to your partner. So checking in makes sure that your partner is aware of what you're about to do and they're okay with it. Then they can use a safe word to tell you that they're okay with it. So you have a partner that would say, I feel like fucking you really rough right now, and I want to fuck you so hard. The only time I'm going to stop is when you start shaking. You can be green. I can be green, good to go. Or you can be amber, okay. Amber, for me, I'm kind of uncomfortable with that, but then they will know that I'm uncomfortable with the situation, but I'm okay. I'm uncomfortable, but I'm okay. So they will know that they need to be gentle, or they need to pull it down a notch than what they had in mind. Or I can just easily say red because I'm like, no, not for me. Or they can say, I'm about to like put a butt plug on your on your behind. Tell me if it becomes too much and tell me when you need to stop. Like for me, communicating during sex is like it's a must, and like telling me what you're about to do and I anticipate it, it just creates that whole thing. So safe words can be used for that as well. Another thing that I want to talk about regarding what you need to know when you're getting into BDSM is a contract. So a contract is not a must, but a contract, it is essential. Firstly, it's a turn on because once you finish signing that contract, we're gonna seal the deal with something else. But a contract lets you, like, I found that like having a contract for me, I was able to say exactly what I want without feeling judged. I was able to express all of my fantasy without the other person giving me the side eye. I just had everything I wanted written down on a contract, everything I would never do written down on this contract, and everything I'm open to doing written down on this contract. So it gives them an idea of what I want and what are my limits, what are my soft limits, and then also receiving a contract from them, I know exactly what they want. So I also know something that they will never do and what is their soft limits. So it just gives you a perfect blueprint of how to like pleasure your partner. It gives you guideline of what they want to do, and both parties end up really happy because you know exactly. Like growing up, I remember being taught to never tell a guy what you want to do. You want a guy to figure. Like I never really understood that whole concept of wanting a person to guess and just be good with your body without them knowing. I feel like a contract just gives them a cheat sheet that's gonna make you happy. Once your partner has a cheat sheet of exactly what you need and they do exactly what you need, imagine how wonderful your sex life will be, because they would always be doing what you want. And also I was practicing BDSM outside of the bedroom as well, so I also had like written down of how I want to be treated, how I want the princess treatment, how I want to be taken out on vac. Like you get to write everything that you want on a contract, and your partner knows exactly how to make you happy and how to please you in bed. And once they stop doing that, is because like for me, once they stop doing all the things that I have in my contract, it's because they've lost interest. So I know that whatever they're doing, it's exactly my love language, it's exactly my sexual fantasies. So once they stop doing that, it's like, now I know, like, this is over. So a contract for me is essential. Another thing that I want to talk about before I make this video as well way too long is aftercare. Aftercare is really important if you are engaging in BDSM, because aftercare helps a partner that is going through a drop to recover. So a drop is when all your hormones, like your adrenaline, everything is kind of like dropping down, and you are kind of like moving from a scene what you were doing. Let's just say, for example, you have like a rape fantasy, and then now your partner is kind of like, it's not their norm, and they now feeling certain things. After that, it's not their normal personality, it's like not something they do on their day to day, and then now they have to come out of that scene and go back to their normal self. So aftercare helps with that. Also, if you were using whips, it also helps you to take care of your partner. You can give them, like, aftercare can be in a form of giving your partner a bath, a shower, giving them a gift afterwards, cuddling, caressing each other, and also just making sure that you're taking care of your partner. You make sure they're in the right state of mind after a scene, and you're trying to find out how they are after a scene, because for some people a scene can be too traumatizing. Whether you are a dom or a sub, it doesn't matter. A scene can just be too much for you, to the point that you are not like emotionally okay after a scene. So you then take care of your partner after that. And aftercare can be carried on like even days after a scene, where you're just checking on your partner, how they're feeling. Also, you can reassure your partner if they have like what would be deemed as a weird fetish. You're just making sure that they know that their fantasy isn't weird or their kink isn't weird. So aftercare is essential in that point. Okay, so guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Please do not forget to subscribe, leave me a like, and also do tell me, how do you find out that you were into BDSM? Please also do check out my other videos. See you on another one.